Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Mike, the dyslexic reader. This is an unusual one for me because up till now I've only done like a monthly recap, but those monthly recaps are getting quite long, and I have got quite a big book haul here to show you guys. So I decided I'll do a separate video this month, and my normal monthly recap will come out at the beginning of next month. Before I get into which books I've picked up recently, please do like and subscribe the channel and the video. That really helps get these videos out to other people. Also, I've got a Discord channel that I'm building for people with dyslexia or other difficulties with reading, just trying to build a safe space to talk about reading and writing, because if you've seen any of my videos, I'm writing as well. Also, if you're an adult that's wanting to get into reading and you're scrolling YouTube and you've somehow fallen on this video with some other of the booktubers, then come and join us. We just want a safe space for people that are enjoying reading and writing, whether they have difficulties or not. So please do come in and join us. Right. Let's so I it was about a couple of weeks ago, so at the beginning of the month, I did my normal monthly visit to our local hospice bookstore, charity bookstore. I've had some really good hauls from there. Found some really nice books in there for very reasonable prices. Most of the books are sort of like £1.50 to £3 each. So let me just go through what I picked up. So first of all, I picked up another one of Terry Pratchett's books. So my Terry Pratchett collection is starting to build. I haven't read any of them yet, but I will do at some point. This is the Lords and Ladies, another Discworld novel. So that's another one to go on the shelf. And then I managed to pick up 3 more of Terry Brooks's books, all to do the Shannara universe. What have we got here? I think this is all one series, if I remember rightly. Sorry, it's been a few weeks, so I can't remember. Yes, so this is the Voyage of the Jalal Shannara, book 1, 2, and 3. So we've got one which is called Witch, I think. So it's actually quite hard to read that colour on that cover. So taking dyslexia aside, it's still hard to read. And Anthrax, that is book 2, isn't it? Yeah, that's book 2. And then Morguan or something, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that one, but that is book 3. I don't know, I haven't looked these up to see if that is all of them in see if that was a trilogy within the Shannara world, but that's another couple to go on the shelf for the Shannara, which I'm looking forward to reading at some point. And then I picked up David Eddings' Queen of Sorcery, Belgrade 2. Found that on the shelf as well, so I picked that one up. That's also on my reading list. I can't remember if I got the first Belgrade book. And then I had a look at the classic section, because I wanted to get into reading some of the old classics as well. And I found this beautiful leather bound, let's try and get it in frame. There we go, leather bound book. H.G. Wells collection. So we have in here The Time Machine, The Island of Dr. Moreau, maybe that's how you pronounce it. The Invisible Man, The First Man in the Moon, The Food of the Gods, and The War of the Worlds. So I know a few of those. I know of a few of those stories. I don't know the stories themselves. War of the Worlds is a big one that I know. Obviously there's been the film, although I'm a bit more partial to the musical. I'm trying to remember who was the composer that did the musical War of the Worlds. I really, really love the music in that. So that was actually my first introduction to War of the Worlds. So yeah, that'll be interesting. It's lovely gold. I don't know if how well that comes up on the video. It looks like it's on my screen. It looks like it's shining really nicely. So it's all gold. It's a beautiful book. So yeah, I love that. That's going to look really nice on the shelf, and I'm looking forward to reading some of the stories in this book at some point. I do know that this publisher, so this is the Treasury of H.G. Wells. They published a few books in this type of format, so it'd be really nice if I could find the rest of them. But this is in so good condition, really good condition, and it cost me £3. What can you say? I then did my normal trip and went out the back of the shop and had a look at what their back stock is that they didn't have out on the shelf. And I discovered some of more Robin Hobb books out there. And as I brought them out the front, the gentleman at the till said, "Oh, we've got some more of them in the window," which I hadn't seen. I hadn't looked on the shelf in the window. And it looked like someone has just recently donated their full Robin Hobb collection. So I picked up 10 books. Now I've already got, sorry, I'm just having a look underneath the camera, the Assassin's Apprentice, I think it is. It's the first book. These aren't going to be in order because they've all got mixed up, and I've not looked them up to see which order they're in, to be honest. But another 10 Robin Hobb books. I'm not going to be able to show them all at the same time. I'm going to have to peek over that. Check that they are all in screen. So there's 4. That's 4 of them. Let's do 4 at a time. So don't think I can get any more in the screen. And then I've got this pile. Let's bring it back a bit. There we go. And then a final 2 are these 2. So that's another 10 Robin Hobb books to go to my collection. I've been told that Robin Hobb is an absolute fantastic author, and these books are amazing. So I am looking forward to getting my teeth into those. So that's the haul. I mean, that is a big haul that I picked up from that charity shop. And they're all very reasonably priced. I mean, £1.50 most of these books are. But for me, as I said before, that hospice has got a bit of a special place in my heart and in my family. Some family friends that we have lost they specialise in end of life care, so we've known people that's gone there to for their last days, as it were. Sorry, it's a bit not easy to talk about things like that, but it's my special way of going in and helping that hospice by buying books from them. I also donated a chess book that I had a duplicate of, and if I donate any books, that's where they're going to go as well. So if any of these books that I pick up and I think, oh, these are good, and I don't finish them and I don't enjoy them, they'll go back there so they can resell them again. That's the plan anyway. So what also happened this month is World Book Day, and Waterstones had an offer for World Book Day to get double stamps, which is like their loyalty thing. If you get 10 stamps, you get £10 off, and you get 1 stamp for every £10. So I thought I'd order some books, and I picked up, all you can see is the reflection of the window opposite me there. Picked up this, sorry, it's on a funny angle just so I can get rid of the reflection of the window, but the Mistborn trilogy. In fact, I probably was holding them upside down, stupid me. There you go. That's the way they're supposed to be held. Lovely. I mean, they're still in the cellophane. That's why the reflection of the window opposite me is showing up. But yeah, and still in it's like the box. So I understand this is a good way to get into Brandon Sanderson's books, is the Mistborn. I've got The Way of Kings on the shelf as well, which is the start of one of his other series. I believe they're all in the same world or universe. I think it's more of a universe, if I remember rightly. So I picked up that, bought that, but this was, I can't remember the exact amount, but it came to something and £7. So it felt like I was wasting that £7. So I had to try and find another book that was sort of £13 to round it up to get my stamps. It's ridiculous and silly, I know, but I wanted to make sure I got my best value. So I then picked up this Tad Williams Dragonbone chair. Memory, Sorrow and Thorn, book 1, which is also on my reading list. I don't know much about this author, so do comment below what else any information, anyone that's read these books or read this author before, and let me know what you think. It came up on my AI wish list. If you go back on my channel, you'll see that my first video after my introduction was how I built my reading list using ChatGPT. George R.R. Martin, apparently one of my favourite fantasy series, in the top there, if you see that. Try and get closer, keep it in focus. So if it's been endorsed by George Martin, then it must be good. But yeah, if you know anything about it or you read any of these, I mean, this is a huge book. Look at the size of this beast. This is, I think, the biggest book I've got on my shelf. It's nearly 1,000 pages. Yeah, it's nearly 1,000 pages. So wow, look at the size. It's huge. Probably gonna take me a whole year just to read that. So yeah, those are the books that I picked up from Waterstones just to get some extra stamps to be able to get some money for another book. Now, I then about a week, no, 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weekends ago, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. I don't know what time when this actual video is coming out. But a little while ago, I took a trip. Took my stepdaughter down into Berkhamsted, and my wife said to me, "Why don't you check out the books that are on the bookstores that are on the high street? I'm sure there's some nice little bookstores. It's very oldie sort of town, very sort of one of those places where the high streets are full of buzzing with all sorts of shops with everything you can think of." Or not many sort of branded shops. They're all sort of nice, independent shops. That's the words I'm looking for. So the first one I popped in was actually the Oxfam charity bookstore. And wow, what a bookstore! It was in this old building, and you walk in, and there were books everywhere. There were books on all the shelves from the floor to the ceiling. There were piles of books all over the floor up to my knees. Now I'm 6'2", sorry. I'm 6'2", so I'm quite tall. These piles of books were high. I mean, I was having to get on my hands and knees to go through all these books, and in the end, I didn't have enough time to actually go through everything that they had in there. Even in the sections that I want there, they had a massive fantasy section, and yeah, there was. Then I spotted they've got a section called literacy, which I'm guessing is kind of their classic section. When I went and had a look at the books that were there, and some of the books are like the old paper dust sheets, and the smell of just old books. It was amazing. And I did manage to pick up some books in there. I found. Let me grab them. Sorry, they're down here. So I picked up another one of Terry Brooks's books. So that's the book 1 of, is that the Armageddon's Children, the name of the series, or is it Genius of Shannara? But yeah, I picked up another one. So that's my Shannara collection is now growing very quickly. Needs to actually start reading them at some point. And then I picked up 3 of Terry Goodkind's books. Now I've got the first one, which is the first rule of magic, or first law of magic, I think it's called. So I've got The Confessor, and Blood of the Fold, then Stone of Tears. Yeah, so I picked them up in that store. That was quite nice. And just spent way too much time just looking at books and old books. They got some old, but they even had a locked cabinet with some old printings of books that they were selling for sort of hundreds of pounds. It was amazing. I can't wait to go back down there and have a look. If you're ever in that area, then please go and look at the Oxfam bookstore. It's lovely. Yeah, so that was in Berkhamsted. I keep wanting to say Basingstoke, but it's not. It's Berkhamsted. I don't know why Basingstoke is on my mind. Berkhamsted. Now I'm even doubting myself if I've got that wrong, but I'll have to look it up on the phone. But I'm using my phone to actually do this recording. And then I went down to, there is a Berkhamsted bookstore a bit further down. That was just that. Unfortunately, if you're looking for fantasy, you're not going to find a lot. They've got a lot of classics in there. A lot of the, is it the Penguin Black Classics series publications? So they've got a lot of stock of that. But the fictional side was like half a metre section of the store. There wasn't much there at all. So I didn't really find anything there. And then I walked a bit further down, and there was Waterstones in there, and I went and had a look. And thought, oh well, I've got because I've got my stamps, I've got my first £10 free. So I started looking for a book that was around £10, or just over £10 to spend that on, and I picked up a second book of Wheel of Time. So I've now got book 1 and 2. Unfortunately, it wasn't until after I left the store I realised it's damaged. So that's really annoyed me. That corner there is quite damaged. I always, when I go into these stores and I'm buying new, I'm always looking at I mean, even this has got some creases in, but I'm looking at the spine to see how creased the spine is. But it is what it is. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy these books because again, they've been raved about by many people, and if I really do enjoy them, then maybe I donate these copies to the hospice shop and look at getting some hardback copies to go on the shelf that look nice on the shelf. So we'll see. So yeah, I picked that up in Waterstones and used my £10 off. And that is all of my books that I've picked up so far this month. I know it's a big haul, but I didn't want to do that and do my recap in the same video, else it will end up being like an hour long, and I don't think many people can sit and listen to me drone on for an hour. So anyway, so yeah, thank you very much for making it this far into the video. Do comment if you've got any comments about any of these books or any other recommendations. Please put them in the comments below. I am considering, when I get to the end of the series, John Gwynne series that I'm reading at the moment, although this is a while off yet because I'm still only on book 2, there's another 2 books in it. If I get to the end, once I get towards the end of that, I might actually put it out to a vote to you lot to tell me which book to read next out of the collection that I've already got, or which series to start reading. So yeah, I might well do that. But for now, please do like and subscribe, and keep reading and keep writing, and I'll see you probably in my catch-up video. Is the next one I'll do. So yeah, until then, see you later. Bye.